In our last episode, we discover a city where Africa never truly left. But that journey left me with a bigger question. How did African culture survive centuries of slavery, colonization, and oppression? In this episode, we're going deeper. From the sacred Orishas temple in the historic town of Cachoeira to conversations about identity, faith, and the lasting influence of Africa, we're exploring why Salvador is considered the cultural heart of Afro-Brazilian life. This is more than a story about Brazil. It's a story about survival, resilience, and a people who never forgot who they were. This is the African soul of Brazil. For millions around the world, this location became famous when Michael Jackson filmed parts of his iconic video, They Don't Care About Us. But long before the cameras arrived, Pelourinho was already one of the most important places in Afro-Brazilian history. These streets witnessed centuries of struggle, survival, and resilience. Today, they stand as a symbol of the African influence that helped shape Brazil. And for many, this is where the African soul of Brazil can still be felt. Place this is where we at.
It's special, very special, because of, as I told you, because here was the center of the colony when the first inhabitants from Europe, from Africa, and indigenous people used it to live, you know. So Pelourinho, for example, is the place where the slaves were punished. This place. I told you that Pelourinho was a stake driven through the ground where the slave was whipped.
Okay. Wow.
Okay?
Wow. Now, this is also where Michael Jackson recorded his video, right?
Yes. I was not here when he was in Salvador, I was in Angola, but I heard that he was very joyful. He felt joyful because he felt as he was in Africa. He felt at home. And he sang in this exactly in that place.
Oh, he sang?
He danced and sang here. And you went to the balcony and sang from the balcony and danced from the balcony. That's why the image, the picture of him is there. You know?
And when he done that put Salvador in the spotlight, right?
For sure, not in Salvador, but also Rio de Janeiro. But first he came to Salvador.
Okay.
And made a video shot by Spike Lee.
By Spike Lee?
Yeah. Spike Lee was the director.
Wow. What made him come to Salvador?
When?
Yeah, what made them do the video in Salvador?
As I told you, the strong influence of Africa in Brazil that happens here. The strong influx of different cultures of Africa, from Nigeria, from Angola, from Benin, from Mozambique, São Tomé and Príncipe. They all got together, they gathered here in this place.
Wow.
That's why Salvador is unique.
It's unique.
Culturally speaking, because we have here different cultures of Africa, okay, gathering and mixing themselves.
Wow. Special place.
Special place, very special place.
Wow. So now there's always celebration here?
Celebration, particularly of Olodum. Olodum is an Afro group that they used to parade during Carnival, and they used to show the drums, the percussion of their own music, their own percussion they developed here for tourists to see and participate, to hear, to listen to and participate. You can use the drums if you want.
Oh, really?
Yeah, drums are there.
Oh, video. I see video.
Yeah. Photo, video. But this is a way a group of black natives from Salvador found also to get some money for survival.
Survival.
Here is one of them.
Oh, okay. Hey, boss. Hi.
Fala pouco inglês? Espanhol? Fala espanhol?
Very nice.
Speak Spanish.
Entendo inglês, mas eu gosto na América Latina falar português.
Qual é o seu trabalho aqui? What's your job?
Aqui, eu sou músico profissional. Morei na Buenos Aires. Sou músico da banda Olodum, integrante. E faço esse projeto.
He belongs to the Olodum group I told you about.
Oh, okay,
Projeto
okay.
social, tambores e cores.
His project, tambores, drums, and colors. Tambori means drum in English.
Okay. And they perform out here. When do they perform? When?
Quando você se apresenta?
Terça-feira, dia 13.
On Tuesdays,
Tuesday.
for example, next
Na
Tuesday,
rua, com os alunos.
in the streets.
In the street. Oh, okay. Standing here in Salvador, I wanted to better understand the African influence that shaped the city and much of Brazil itself. So I spoke with the founder of Afro-Tours Bahia, a company dedicated to preserving and sharing the history of Afro-Brazilians, from the people who helped build this nation to the traditions that continue to strive today. She has made it her mission to reconnect people with history that is too often overlooked. And there's no better place to begin than right here in Salvador. So what does being Afro-Brazilian mean to you?
Mean to be the group who came to build this country. People who keep all the construction, all the ability to be a Brazilian citizen.
Wow.
That help and keep the country peaceful.
Wow.
We are the most large and important group in Brazil. So that is very high condition that we offer for this country, especially in the cultural right way.
How many Afro-Brazilians are there in Brazil?
We are 49% black people in the whole Brazil.
Whole Brazil.
In the whole Brazil, we are the majority. If the people who call it the pardos start to know that they are black too, we could be 70% black people in the whole Brazil.
If they knew.
Yeah.
So 10% don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
The pardos thinks that they are not black.
Wow. Now your company, Afro Tours, expose tours to the history of Afro-Brazilians, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How is that going?
That is, we are, since I began, people was telling me that is won't be good. I'm a honey woman, so you can see.
Yeah. They love you. They love you.
They love me. It's going very good.
Yeah.
Really, the Afro-tourism changed a lot of things in Brazil.
Okay.
Not only in the tourism, but on the influencers, on the mentality,
Okay.
on the government. Let me tell you one thing. All the size, all the sphere of the government decide to make an investment in this area.
Okay.
On the way that I start to show the Brazil.
Oh, wow.
I start to show the indigenous group and the black group that is the majority.
Right.
This is what is hiding during we are showing the tourism. So I start to say that because I knew that everybody was coming to Brazil to know the reality.
Right.
So this is now a very fashion, right?
Right.
I put people in a good position, and I became a black leader and feminine. This is very good. So I cannot say that it's not working very well.
Wow.
We are doing an excellent work in the whole Brazil.
Black female-owned business in Brazil.
Yes, I am.
Wow, that's exposing the world to the history of Afro-Brazilians.
Yes.
That's amazing. You have to be proud of yourself.
I'm so proud. I really, it's like, I don't know how can explain, but I'm thinking that I really are bringing my people to a good position.
Good position, right? As I spent more time in Salvador, I began to notice something different. Unlike many places throughout the African diaspora, people here openly embrace their African heritage. It's reflected in the clothing, the music, the religion, and the pride people carry every day. So I wanted to ask a simple question. What does it mean to be Afro-Brazilian? The answer will help me better understand why Salvador remains one of the strongest centers of African culture outside of Africa itself. How important is the Afro-Brazilian culture to the life here?
Afro-Brazilian culture for us is our main resource for us to survive in this place.
Wow. Your main source.
Yeah, main source. Without this source, we would be almost nothing.
Wow.
That is the importance for us. Afro-Brazilian culture.
Really?
Yeah. I'm sure of it.
Wow. So it's embedded. It's part of your life.
Yeah. Here you can dress African garments without any shy. You don't have to be shy to use it.
Wow.
Okay. You can practice your religion without any problem, because the Constitution of Brazil protects us.
Protect us. No harassment.
No, there is some harassment from some groups we call neo-Pentecostals. They are a group of some sects, Christian sects, that used to disturb the Candomblé believers sometimes.
Okay.
But they are not a major problem. We can manage.
Wow. So you've always been proud of your African heritage?
For sure. That's why I told you. I went to Angola and lived there for 9 years. I told you I married an African woman, and I have an African son from Angola,
Wow.
who is now 36 years old.
Okay. Wow. That's good.
And you had a shop here in Pelourinho,
Okay.
where she sold fabrics from Angola. Remember?
Yes.
I told you.
Yes, I remember.
The shop was closer to this place, but unfortunately we have to close.
Are there some people who deny their African heritage here? You find some who deny it?
It happens. You can find some people who are still, they are black, but they don't consider themselves black yet. But the black consciousness movement is spreading, and some of them who did not want to recognize their race, now they are changing their minds, because this is a very strong movement in Salvador, in particular, in Bahia and Salvador in particular. Okay? I myself, I belong to the black movement here.
Okay. Wow.
Okay? During the 80s.
Wow. What separates Bahia from the other states in Brazil?
You mean culturally?
Yeah, culturally.
You know, the cuisine is different. We have a cuisine of African origin, particularly from Nigeria and Angola. The way we make music, okay? We always use the drums, okay? You have seen the Afro groups here, Olodum, in particular. And the way we live our lives, the way we live our lives. Okay, we live our lives according to our ancestors' lessons, our ancestral legacy, cultural legacy. You, for example, you visit today the Orishas in Dique do Tororó. You saw the statues of the Orishas. This is the only place in Brazil where you can find the statues of the Orishas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No other place?
No other place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you know that Salvador was the first capital of Brazil. The colonization started here.
It started here.
And the first Africans came to this place to work in the sugar mills. I told you. All these reasons makes Bahia a very special place and different place comparing to other places in Brazil, other states.
Okay. Wow.
If you go, for example, to Santa Catarina, Rio Grande do Sul, the south, it's totally different of Bahia because they are mainly the majority of the population are descendants of Europeans. We are descended, the majority here, 80% descendant of Africans.
Okay. 80. Wow.
80.
And you guys embrace it. That's what's
For sure.
spectacular about it. That you're not hiding it. You're not ashamed of it.
Most of the black people are not shy anymore. We used to be shy in the past.
Used to be shy.
Yeah, because of the oppression. But nowadays, we are free of that oppression. Okay, oppression still exists, but the level has diminished. Okay. Pelourinho is an example of what happened in Salvador concerning to African culture. You are seeing through your own eyes.
Standing at one of Salvador's most important Orishas sites, I was about to step inside a world that has survived for generations. There was a time where practitioners of these African traditions were forced to worship in secret, preserving their beliefs despite discrimination and pressure to abandon them. Yet somehow, the traditions endured. Today, this sacred space is recognized for its culture and historical importance, serving as a powerful reminder of the resilience of Afro-Brazilian communities. As we entered the Orishas house, I was given a rare opportunity to learn about the ceremonies, symbols, and spiritual traditions that continue to connect many Brazilians to their African roots.
And this became a heritage site.
It's a heritage site?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
This is the placa where there is the date that we became a place important in the world. In 2013,
Okay.
we became a heritage site.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
The name is Ile Oshumare Araka Ase Ogodo. This is the real name, the African name.
African.
Okay. Now we can use this kind of a name.
That's great. 130
130 steps.
Does that mean anything?
Meaning, in the slavery time, he needs to be in a high point to see who was coming. You know, this is strategic. So many houses stay at the top.
Okay.
So if they can see who was invading the place. Because for a long time, we could not be practicing.
Really?
Yes.
It was against the law?
Free, yeah, we became free from the Portuguese and from the whole the situation. In 1950. Okay. When we became free to practice Candomblé. Before this,
you couldn't do it.
We must to accept to become Catholicist. Okay?
Okay.
Let's go. This is Orisha house.
Okay.
Okay? We already passed for 3. Iemanjá, Ogum, Xangô, Omolu, Oxóssi. Your Orisha room is that. Okay? Hunter. This is Georgie. Hello. He's a friend of mine.
Oh, please, meet you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He's an artist.
Yes. My name is George. Yes.
Yeah. Hello.
Very well.
Thank you.
Yeah, just make a visit, a quick visit. Let's come in. So, that is my house too, okay?
Which one?
This house.
This house?
Yes. My priest.
Oh.
I have opportunity to get in because I am a part of this place.
Okay.
Okay, I have a good position here.
Okay.
All right?
Which Ori's house is this one? Which house is this one?
Oshumari house.
Okay.
Okay? Look, the image of the priest and the priestess before him.
Okay.
Okay, so it could be man or woman.
The bloodline.
Bloodline or the request for the Orishas.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Bloodline is better.
Okay.
Coming in. That is the main room. That is that I want to show you. Okay? That is a main room where has all the big ceremony and the small ceremony.
Oh.
The ceremony tomorrow will be here. Okay? That's that I like that you come to see. The women sit on this side and the men on other sides. And we do the ceremony around here. Okay? With the drums. Okay? Humpi left. In the center, we have a Xangô, the king. Right? The king in Oshobo, Nigeria. The fire, the justice is that we need, right? During this slavery time.
Yeah.
Justice.
What does the rainbow represent?
Oshumare. Like the lake is ocean, the ocean sky, the rainbow is the transformation.
Okay.
Oshumare. Right? The seat of the priest. And this is a very important thing. During the slavery time, we should have a place with the Catholic saints. Can you see the symbol?
Yeah.
So one priest, very important, she said, for we stopped with the Catholic saints, took it out and put a place with our African gods. Right?
Right.
See all the snakes and
That is, yeah. The snakes represent Oshumare too. Okay? From Benin, the JJ girl. Okay? That is a real house of a Candomblé. Okay?
Yeah.
This is chair where sit the priestess. Other priestess for other house must to come sometimes.
Okay.
They visit each other, so they must to sit better. All right? So the door be open, we get into see the center. All right? Just come.
Mama, who's this right here?
Huh?
Who's this?
Okay, she is Mãe Cotinha. Before Mãe Simplícia.
Okay.
And after Mãe Yosete. And now Baba PC.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is very nice. Just outside of Salvador lies the historical town of Cachoeira, a place where the African influence on Brazil can still be seen and felt. For generations, this region served as an important center of Afro-Brazilian culture and resilience. Here, African traditions, beliefs, and customs were preserved despite slavery and oppression. As I explored this area, I was reminded that the story of the African diaspora is not just one of survival, but one of resistance. Across the Americas, our ancestors found ways to build communities, protect their tradition, and pass that heritage on to future generations. Places like here stand as a living reminder that despite everything they face, they never forgot who they were. As we continued through Salvador, the conversation shifted from faith to history. The African tradition we had just explored did not survive in isolation. They survived during a time of conquest, colonization, and competition between European powers seeking control of land, resources, and people. Here in Bahia, the Portuguese and Dutch fought for influence, while millions of Africans were caught in the middle of a system built on slavery and exploitation. But as I listened to the history, one thing became clear. The impact of colonization wasn't limited to Brazil. Its effects were felt across Africa, the Caribbean, and Americans, and many of those consequences can still be seen today.
This church in particular, I told you about the invasion of the Dutch.
Yeah.
The Portuguese found a headquarters inside the church. There is a sign explaining this event. Okay. It was in the 17th century. Okay, so the main resistance came from this church. Oh, they took the sign out, man.
Took it down.
Maybe somebody who is against the Portuguese and
Protest.
yeah, maybe the sign was there, or maybe it's the other side. You see, but there's some information here in English. Okay, the beginning of the 17th century. You see? From 1644, 1625, the convent, this was the headquarters of the troops fighting against the Dutch, who eventually signed their surrender.
In one of its rooms.
Yes, in one of its rooms.
Ah.
The same, as they are signed their surrender, they were invading Angola also to control the slave trade.
The Dutch.
The Dutch, because I think I told you, they want to control the slave trade in Africa,
Right.
and control the sugar mills in Bahia. Okay, but they was defeated by the Portuguese.
Wow.
Not only the Portuguese, but natives
Yeah.
from here who supported the Portuguese.
Portuguese. Who do you think was worse, Portuguese or Dutch?
I think both are the same.
I think both are the same.
Yeah, according to my point of view, any kind of colonialism is dangerous
Yeah.
equally. Same way
Same way.
to us, for us. Yeah, for us
same.
Africans. Yeah, for us Africans, colonialism. Colonialism, may it be Dutch or Portuguese or any other origin, Belgian, all of them
All of them.
are very hazard. They did a bigger hazard to Africa
Right.
and to us here in America,
Yeah. Yeah.
American continent. When you say America,
Yeah.
it's not the
Both.
United States only,
Both.
the entire continent.
North and South.
Yeah.
And Central.
Yeah, the Caribbean, the South America, and the North America. They did a very, very hazard, damage, because they underdeveloped Africa.
Right.
You know the book How Europe Underdeveloped Africa,
Yeah.
written by Walter Rudney, a Guyanese historian.
Yes.
Have you read the book? Have you read it?
Which book?
Yeah. How Europe Underdeveloped Africa.
Oh no. No, I heard of it.
Never heard
I heard of it though.
Walter Rudney?
Yeah, I haven't read it.
I send it to you. I can get a copy in English for you, in PDF.
Undeveloped
undeveloped. How the title of the book is How Europe Undeveloped Africa.
Took all the resources. As Salvador continues to grow, some residents worry that the character of neighborhoods like this is beginning to change. Historic buildings that once sat abandoned are being purchased, renovated, and transformed into restaurants, bars, and businesses catering to visitors from around the world. While new investment can bring jobs and economic activity, it can also raise difficult questions. Who benefits from the growth? And what happens when the communities that built their neighborhood can no longer afford to remain there? It's a conversation taking place in cities across the globe, and Salvador is no exception.
You need to take too long time.
Yeah. So it's closed today.
It's closed today because today's Sunday. It works between Monday and Fridays.
Mondays and Fridays.
Yeah.
You know, that view would have been beautiful.
Yeah. You see, in this area, we don't use to bring tourists to this area because this area is under quick process of gentrification.
Okay.
People from abroad, particularly whites from Europe, are coming here and buying abandoned houses, and it was in the beginning of the process. They bought abandoned house and transformed the house into restaurants, bars, with offering very expensive menus. So you can hardly drink a beer here without paying much.
Okay.
Comparing to the other places in Pelourinho. Okay, and you can find, you see the owners, you ask, who is the owner today? Italian guy, who is Japanese, Spanish guy, and so on.
Oh, wow.
I just found one black American who bought a building here, but after my return from Angola.
Okay.
But I haven't seen him anymore. Maybe he
sold
it and went back to the United States. There's a strong process of gentrification. I don't know if it is I know that it's not good for our culture,
right?
But Afro-Brazilian culture. But I have to accept the fact that they are providing jobs for native blacks. I can't deny it.
Yeah.
But at what price? The price is high.
You gotta try to find the
exclusion.
Balance. Yeah, exclusion.
Social exclusion,
We need to learn what they do. They pool their rooster. They pool their money together. They put their money together.
How to do it?
Yeah. And they invest together.
But they don't think so. The Europeans who come to live here, they just buy the houses and make and introduce a kind of capitalism that is not has no social benefits. Only getting a job and a salary. That's all.
That's it.
They don't invest in the communities.
Right. Oh yeah, that
black
part.
Communities.
Yeah.
Okay.
As our conversation continued, so did another important part of Salvador's history, its food. Like the music, religion, and traditions found throughout Bahia, many of the flavors on this table can be traced their roots back to Africa. Over generations, influences from places like Angola, Nigeria, and other parts of West Africa and Central Africa blended together, creating a cuisine that is uniquely Brazilian while still carrying the taste of the motherland. In Salvador, food is more than a meal. It's history, culture, and a living connection to the people who helped shape this city centuries ago. And today, I was about to experience it for myself. So explain this meal.
Okay, we have here a meal very similar to the one we ate yesterday. Okay, we have shrimps. Okay, we have octopus, here.
Octopus.
Octopus. You have shrimps, okay, and you have also shells,
Mussels.
mussels.
Okay.
With good, with some spice, you know.
Okay. And this is all Afro-Brazilian.
This is an Afro-Brazilian food. We call how could I say? Mocoto. Not muqueca mista. Muqueca mista. Mista means a mix of different ingredients. Because we have a muqueca that is only for fish, based on fish, and you also have muqueca that's only based on shrimps, and also a third one that is based on octopus. But this one is mixed.
And this meal comes from what, Angola, Nigeria?
In Bahia, we have African food of African origin of different countries. Okay. This one in particular is a mix between Angola and Nigeria.
It's a mix.
A mix.
So it's something that you guys created.
Yeah, because Bahia is the encounter, is the corner where different African cultures came and interacted. They have interaction here, so you have created some dishes, a kind of cuisine that is unique in Brazil.
Exactly.
Because of the, different origins in Africa.
Right. Octopus. You know this octopus?
Yes.
It tastes good. I had some the other day. It tastes good. I noticed something that caught my attention. For the first time since arriving in Brazil, we appeared to be the only black people around. It was a surprising contrast in a city known for its deep African roots and strong Afro-Brazilian identity. The conversation that followed wasn't just about race. It was about economics, opportunity, and who has access to some of the most desirable places to live. It was a reminder that even in a city shaped by African culture, questions about wealth, representation, and equality are still very much part of the story. I noticed that we're the only blacks here. We're the only blacks here.
Yeah. And you see, this area, we are surrounded by whites here because this area is very expensive for blacks to buy houses. Understand? Most of the black population can't afford to buy a house in this place. All the houses along the seashore are the most expensive ones, closer to the beach.
That's everywhere. Everywhere.
Okay, but concerning to race, the only place I visited where blacks live along the seashore were Luanda and Benguela in Angola. There was a there. I don't know if you have read much about the history of Angola. In Angola, there was a revolution, an armed struggle against the Portuguese. You know that? Yeah. There was a revolution.
Hey, the culture.
Yeah.
While history is everywhere in Salvador, so is music. The rhythms that fill the street, bars, and neighborhoods of this city are deeply connected to its African roots. Passed down through generations, these sounds continue to tell stories of resilience, celebration, and identity. For many Afro-Brazilians, music is more than entertainment. It's a way of preserving culture, honoring ancestors, and bringing people together. And in Salvador, you don't have to look far to find it. As our journey through Salvador came to a close, I found myself surrounded by symbols of a culture that has endured for centuries. Floating among the Orishas, it was impossible not to reflect on everything we had experienced, the history, the struggle, the faith, and the resilience of a people who refused to let their traditions disappear. What made this moment even more special was sharing it with my daughter. Together, we traveled to places like Dubai, Colombia, and Ghana. We experienced different cultures, different histories, in different parts of the world. But there was something special about this moment in Salvador. Thousands of miles from Africa, yet so much here felt familiar. Perhaps that's why so many people across the African diaspora feel an immediate connection to this city. Because beyond the monuments, the music, and the history, there is something deeper, a feeling that despite the oceans, the centuries, and the distance, a part of home still remains. As my time in Salvador was coming to an end, there was one final conversation I wanted to have. Over the course of this journey, she helped us explore the history, culture, spirituality, and resilience that make this city unlike any other place I visited. From the streets to the sacred Orishas tradition, one message kept coming through loud and clear. Africa is still very much alive in Salvador. Before saying goodbye, I wanted to ask a few final questions about identity, ancestry, and what connects Brazil to the larger African diaspora. And her answers will leave me with something I'll never forget. Give me 3 people that are black that have influenced you. Names. They could be national, international, they could be local. Give me 3 blacks that have influenced you.
Abdias Nascimento. He was a politician from Brazil. Abdias Nascimento.
Okay.
There is another one. She is a woman. This is Vilma Reis. She was a woman who opened my mind to become a woman that I am right now. And I loved the Pan-Africanist Nkrumah.
Okay.
The way that he writes. When I was reading, when I was researching my history, giving me some good thoughts for me to being a human being.
Wow. Is that one more?
One more. Let me see. I'm reading Eli Semog.
Eli Semog.
Eli Semog. He's Brazilian.
He's Brazilian.
Yeah, he's anthropologist.
Okay.
Okay?
Right.
For me, I have others, of course.
Right.
Lélia Gonzalez. I have Ana Célia, another teacher from Brazil. I have, of course, how can I say, Martin Luther King. He offered a lot of influence.
Okay.
For we request some rights in Brazil.
Okay. Wow.
Right. What else? Bob Marley. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Bob Marley. Right? Yeah, the music.
The musician.
Yeah.
I never forget him. Right. And my mom and my father.
Wow. One last question before we go. Where do you think you came from? We know you were raised in Brazil. Your family's here in Brazil. But what country in the motherland do you believe you came from?
We believe that we came from Congo.
From Congo?
Yes.
Okay.
Or Nigeria.
Nigeria. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You are an excellent host, and this whole Brazilian episode would not have been possible without you.
Thank you.
Really exposing my mind and my oldest daughter mine to our history. I felt like I'm at home.
You are at home. That is our diaspora. We just came from different places.
Yeah.
Right? So probably.
It's a family reunion when you get here.
Yeah.
It's a family reunion.
That is true.
Thank you, my
So
sister.
welcome everybody that come to the United States, to Africa. The Africans, one of my deal now is bringing more African people to come down to Brazil to change, to make anything change, and we be more closer, more close each other.
They're coming. They're coming.
All right.
All right.
Ashe.
As our journey through Salvador comes to an end, I'm leaving with a deeper understanding of what makes the city so special. Here, Africa isn't just part of the past. It's present in the faith, the food, the music, the tradition, the people who carry the legacy forward every day. From sacred Orishas communities and historic neighborhoods to conversations about identity, resilience, and belonging, Salvador reminded me that culture can survive even the greatest challenges. And perhaps the most powerful lesson of all this is, no matter where the African diaspora was scattered across the world, our ancestors found a way to preserve pieces of who they were. And for that reason, Salvador will always hold a special place in my heart. This has been the Unfiltered World with PA.
Joy, full bloom.